Hello, another car book review. This time, Angel Down by Dnl Krs, a 2025 historical fiction war fantasy novels. This is World War One, where five privates, five really, for various reasons, four of them at least are complete just fuck ups they're malingerers. I think the reason why they've probably actually survived as long as they have, especially the viewpoint character Cyril Bagger, who we get throughout this book, is that they've basically done everything they can to not actually be good soldiers. And good soldiers means going over the top and just getting completely mowed down in this incredibly gory, violent book. Very sweary as well. Using modern swears to probably heighten and to kind of communicate to a modern reader an idea of exactly what foul-mouthed and shitty guys these are. There is a fifth who is a black soldier who has been probably sent over to their squad spitefully, and has been basically just said like, okay, we're also going to get rid of you at the same time. That is Vec. They are sent while everyone else is retreating to go into no man's land to retrieve what has been referred to as the Shrieker. And it's like all you can hear through the first part of the book is just shrieking and shrieking and shrieking and shrieking. It's almost like a klaxon sound. And it turns out that this Shrieker is an angel. It is a female looking angel. I mean, it's the various different people see various different things, because that's one of the key kind of aspects of this angel, is that everyone who looks upon her sees something different. Now, the key thing you should probably know going into this novel is that it's one giant long sentence. It's a sentence with ands, and a whole bunch of stuff, and a whole bunch of stuff. Now, the big thing about this, because I have even though I read lit novels every once in a while, is that this isn't one giant unending paragraph. I do not go for that sort of stuff. I like my breaks. After every and, there's a space, and then another and then that kind of sentence, and then another break, and an and. So it's kind of cheating. And there are chapter breaks. There is one chapter in here where it is one giant unbroken 9-page paragraph, or like 9 pages. I don't know. It's an ebook. So, it was one chapter is that. And actually that was long. That was enough for me to go, oh yeah, I'm glad that the whole book wasn't this, or I find that hard. I find that hard to deal with. So in some ways, this is the ideal unending paragraph book for a kind of a semi-lit guy or gal. It's that. So we have Cyril Bagger, who is a private. He was a con man in his private life. He is a con man now. We have he's kind of like his little tag-along, Arno, who is a child who lied about how old he was. He's like 14 years old, but he's now in World War One. I've already mentioned Vec, who is the black soldier who actually carries a flamethrower around. They asked for a flamethrower. It's like, oh, we gave you a flamethrower, but it was a black man, which this is, yes, super racist times, and that wasn't appreciated by the commander, who is Major General Lyons Rees, who sends them into the no man's land. Basically, is a suicide mission because he just wants to get rid of them. We have Goodspeed, who is another kind of con man. We have Hugh Popkins, who is just a complete brute, bastard. And I mean, pretty quickly, once they get the angel, they turn upon each other because this is their desires. And indeed, it's interesting about this angel, because this angel, which is obviously it's inspired by, and actually it's called out, the Angel of Mons, which was actually a favorite of mine. Machen. What the hell is it? Is it Arthur Machen? who his actually great god Pan and a couple of other books he wrote. He during World War One wrote a fictional story about some kind of a being coming down to the battlefield, and it got run in a paper, but it didn't get labeled as fiction, and people actually took it as actual fact, and it kind of developed its own kind of its own mythology. Even though Machen himself says, like, no, I was not trying to, I was not trying to con anyone or make a fake anyone out. But people wanted that so much that they took it. It sort of reminds me of Orson Welles and his War of the Worlds thing. It's like, well, it was just a way of telling the story. Machen tried to, and like Orson Welles did, like, news reports and things like that on the radio to do a telling of H.G. Wells, and some people tuned in late, apparently, and it's a good story. And took it as truth. Took it as, oh my God, this is actually a news report happening, because he'd done such a good job. Machen, like a lot of authors at the time, kind of put this as told by, kind of that kind of thing to kind of build up the fantasy in it. And it got taken as real. And indeed, that story gets taken. That story is actually referenced in here, though Machen isn't mentioned. So yeah, the technique of the ands and the ands and the ands is actually pretty. It's a good driving way to, like, this is like a part of a sentence and we're just going along and it kind of adds to the kind of the nightmare of it all. It is very bloody. It is very gruesomely described. Sometimes almost like poetically gruesomely described. I do wonder if this is like a young man's book of, like, we're going to make this as gnarly as possible and kind of give you as much kind of a thrill about how gross war is and, like, all the viscous fluids and grossness. I do wonder if it kind of, it's got a kind of a young man's, like, ooh, look, Mom, kind of that thing. Even like all the swearing and stuff like that. It's like, it's done for effect, in that how people swear. Me probably saying damn hell is like saying incredibly, if I'd said that back in the day, I would be shunned from society is just horrible. The amount of swearing and violence and in all of that. I do like that there's this whole thing of how they project their desires, and just a question of what Bagger's desires are, what he wants out of the angel at the end. If the angel is a friend, or if the angel is, as kind of the word comes up, the adversary, which, if you look at your biblical stuff, the adversary might be talking about the other side of things. I do like that we have the figure of Major General Leon Rees in here, because how he sees the angel, you can see is kind of a glory seeking, is the glory seeking thing, and an aggrandizing and power trip thing, which is like, I like having that in the fictional character, because we also do get a little snapshot here. He comes in and he goes out, and he's like a figure looming over of General John J. Pershing, whose record for World War One is controversial, to say the least. He's possibly somebody who ensured that this was the most bloody war it could possibly be, right up to the end, even though he knew that it was going to end. There's probably also some people argue maybe he was right, that they should have kept on going and completely destroyed Germany in a way that it couldn't have come back for World War II. But that is hindsight. That is hindsight. So yeah, it's definitely not your daddy's World War One book. It's definitely amped up to kind of get you there. It's a male book. It's all these 5 dudes, and they're focused on this angel female figure, whether they're going to see her as mother, lover, sister, various other things throughout this, just money ticket throughout this book. It's got some things to say in a kind of like a whoa bro dude kind of way. There's that thing of like something that bro literature gets charged with is like, God, they love their lists, and this is one long and list, and even within that we have kind of just the maximalist kind of like and we're gonna put everything into this book in a way that is broy. But you know, it was an entertaining read. Yeah, I'll leave it there. That's Angel Down by Dnl Krs, 2025. I have been Jay. More videos later.